All right, now. There we go.
Hi, Janice.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Trying to survive the freezing rain.
Yeah. Yep. Same here. So we'll start when we're waiting for Joanne and Susan Gomberg, the other two members of the council.
Okay. Linda, at some point, could you give me the controls so I can show a screen?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
'Cause
Yeah.
what I'd like to do is walk through the actual assessor's page on the website to show where everything is. Because it's there, it's just not always easy to find.
Yes, that'll be great. That'll be really helpful. Okay, let's see. Okay, Susan Gomberg is coming in now. Hi, Susan Gomberg.
Hi, Linda. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Oh, says Janice.
Hi, says the other Susan. To you and to everybody else was here.
Oops, wait 1 second. Joanne is here, and then I'm also gonna admit Leslie Luchonic and Jill Marlin. They're the guests. They're coming that are, yeah. Hi, Joanne.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Kevin. I'm Joanne Bernhardt.
Hi, Joanne, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Same here.
Hi, Leslie and Jill.
Hello.
Jill. Hi,
Hello.
Leslie.
So let's see, everyone's here. Shall I go ahead and call it to order, Joanne?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to call our Council on Aging meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. This is the virtual meeting as allowed by the Governor of Massachusetts. And so I think, okay, so I think everyone knows everyone. Susan Gomberg, we're all here, and Kevin Rudin is here. They are our administrative assessor, and our guests, Leslie Luchonic and Jill Marland, are here. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
You have to call the roll.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Scott here.
Okay. Bernhardt here.
Schomburg here.
Gray here.
Billinger here.
Okay. All right. So we usually do our minutes first, though, because we have, if it's okay with everybody, because we have Kevin Rudin here as our guest, and we do have a time constraint, and we have a lot of business tonight. This isn't our usual meeting night, so there's a Board of Health meeting at 7, so we need to be complete by 6:50. So Joanne and I felt that we could allocate a half an hour to senior tax relief programs, and this is our guest, our special guest, Kevin, is our feature, and he's going to, we're going to give him the floor and let him explain what's available in Shutesbury and also what he knows about state programs. And then if we have time, hopefully then we'll have time for some questions.
Right.
Okay?
Susan, you're in only on the phone, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Schomburg
well,
on the phone.
I'm going to be referring to things on the website, the town's website, but I'll verbally say where I'm going.
Okay, we have,
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt just to say we have one more guest. And Susan Millinger is our minute taker, Kevin. So she may, if at any point she gets overwhelmed, she'll let you know.
Okay,
Oh, Amanda.
Amanda whom for the minutes? Last name?
Pardon?
I need a last name for the minutes from Amanda.
We'll wait till she comes on. She's not on yet.
Okay.
Hi, Amanda.
She is muted.
No, I'm
Um,
not. Yeah. I'm like,
Okay, hi, Amanda, would you be willing to say your last name for?
Sure will.
Okay,
Alex.
thanks.
ALIX.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you. Oh, here we are.
there you are. Okay, so go ahead. Thank you, Kevin.
okay. And you gave me the,
Let's see.
The screen
I'm
share,
gonna
I
give
believe.
you. Let's
Here
see.
we go.
Whoop, wait a minute. Never mind.
nope, you did.
I did. Hang on. But I did myself too, which wasn't a very good idea.
Did I mute myself?
Can you screen share, Kevin?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
What I'm going to do for Susan Gomberg's, since she's not on visually, I'm going to the assessor's page on the town's website.
Yes, that's where I am, and I can follow you.
Okay, it says I am disabled,
Oh, gee. Okay, wait a minute.
screen sharing.
Oh, okay, I'm making you a co-host, so you should be just fine now.
Okay, so hopefully
Sorry about
in a
that.
minute. Yeah, hopefully you're seeing the assessor's page.
Yes, yes.
Okay. First, I just want to say the way the town's website is laid out, it's not easy to have like buttons down the side that would say senior tax relief, click here and go to that page. So I tend to stack the newest things first, but if you go to the bottom, all the way to the bottom of the page, you're going to see something that says personal property tax and exemption information and forms. Property tax forms and guides. And there is some information, particularly for, it says local property tax exemptions for seniors. These are statutorily granted, that is, they're in state law. And if you click on that, you will go to the Mass Department of Revenue website. And the very first thing you say is Guide to Real Estate Tax Exemptions for Qualifying Seniors. And if you click on that, it lists the standard tax exemptions open to seniors, which are clauses 41, 41B, 41C, 41.5C. And this document explains what each of them are and how they work. The most important thing to note is you can apply for an exemption on your current taxes. That is the new tax bill that just came out in the mail. You can apply for an exemption on that right up until the end of March, if you qualify. technically you can apply beginning in November. But this has the longest application period of anything related to assessing. You can go right to the end of March, and if granted, it will affect that fourth quarter tax bill. But each of these exemptions explains what they are and what they do, and they have specific ownership, residency, and income requirements. There are also another set of exemptions called Clause 17, 17C, C and a F and D, that are referenced under the introduction paragraph. They have less strict eligibility, but less benefits. But basically, these range from $500 up to $2,000. All of these. And I'm going to say very candidly, the legislature, and I'm just going down them where they talk about how to apply, but I just showed you how to get to them. Candidly, all of these were set decades ago by the legislature and unfortunately have not kept pace with what I would say the current state of values and tax bills. So what I'm going to tell you candidly is that when they were approved by the legislature, getting $500 to $1,000 off a tax bill was a big break back when tax bills were $2,000 and values were a lot lower. So there are other things you can look at, but these are the main, these two sets of clauses, the 41s and the 17s, are the main exemptions offered to seniors. Besides that,
Excuse
there
me,
is-
Kevin, may I
yes.
ask you about that? The
Yes.
41C and a half
yes,
has to be approved by our local legislative body, correct? So it's not
only,
available.
only if we want to increase it above $500.
So you're saying that
We can
People-
increase it to, right now statutorily, it's at $500. A vote of the town meeting can increase it up to 1,000, and I believe we are at the 1,000 already. Okay, the 41C and a half can be increased to 20% of the assessed valuation by a vote of the legislative body meeting town meeting. Okay, right now we are not at that level.
I'm sorry.
I'm in the,
I'm
um,
sorry, I don't understand. Is the
I'm
41C and a half available now?
yes, at 5% of the assessment. Okay, I'm in the process now that the bills are out. One of the things I'm doing is looking at what the town has accepted over the past years. And my goal is to bring to town meeting, raising these to as high as they go statutorily. So that the seniors in town can benefit by the maximum amounts allowed. Some of them are there, some of them are not. And what I want to do is bring them all up and publish a new chart that says, here's the maximum you can do.
Thank you. Thank you.
In addition to the statutory ones, there is a state income tax credit available known as the circuit breaker. Right now, that is a maximum for when you file your calendar 2021 income tax forms later this year. That is available up to a maximum of $1,750 off your income tax as a credit. If you don't make enough to pay taxes, but you qualify for that circuit breaker, the state will actually send you a check for the amount you qualify for. So that's important to know, that if you don't make enough money to file income taxes, still file the circuit breaker application. The circuit breaker application is available on the state's website. And I believe it's called either CB or CP, but I will show you where to find that on the state site in a minute. Because we have some legislation pending, the town does, I encourage all seniors to see if you qualify for that this year. To look through the application and see if you qualify, because at the last June's annual town meeting, we passed a article that petitions the legislature to let the town grant another exemption based on that. So it's good to find out if you apply. And I'll talk about where the town's bill is, but I want to show you where to find out about that. And if you pardon me a minute, I don't have it bookmarked on my home computer, so I'm just going to find it on the DOR website and then show you where to get it. Oops, I think it was there. And of course, I don't type well when I have an audience.
Yes.
And I'll also apologize because I have a very bad cataract in one eye that's getting taken out later this month. And it has given me fits on typing in general. There we go. So I'll just apologize for that in advance. It's one of the reasons why I'm having a problem. Okay. This,
There you go.
here we go. And on this page, which you can see the URL up above, the circuit breaker has a whole page explaining what it is and how it works. And I'm looking for the form, which should be right there. It's called a Schedule CB. And they're saying don't file, but let me get that off the screen. I apologize for that showing up.
I want to just interject that Leslie Luchonic also has a link to a tutorial
Yes,
on how to fill this out.
about this.
Yes.
But I would encourage any senior in town, when they do their calendar 21 income taxes in the next couple of months, see if you qualify for this. One, if you do, it gets you a credit back on your taxes. And even if you don't make enough to file an income tax return, the state will actually send you back what you're entitled to as a check, as a refund, which you can then use to lower your taxes. The reason why this one's important is not only does it give you a break on your state taxes, but we're pursuing a twofold route on this circuit breaker exemption. One is the town has a bill going through the legislature to grant the town the right to offer this. And second is the Mass Assessors Association has a bill that actually had a hearing last week. And I testified on in favor of that, if passed, will let the town adopt that local exemption by a vote of town meeting. So it may take another year for the local bill to wend its way through the legislature, but we're really pushing for the Mass Assessors bill. So in either event, hopefully by the fiscal 23, which is the next property tax year, we'll have something local done that will be based off whoever is eligible for the circuit breaker, and allow the town to offer anywhere from 50% to 200% of the circuit breaker credit. So that would be another local exemption that would be able to offer. The good news about it is if you qualify for any of the other exemptions, the 17 and 41 series I just mentioned, you'll be able to get both of them.
Kevin, excuse me, Kevin.
Yes,
Is the bill pending before the state legislature the same as the warrant article?
the Mass Assessor's bill is identical to the warrant article that we looked for locally.
Is that the S2512?
No, 2509. 2512 was filed by one assessor and does not give you the flexibility of the adjustable range of 50 to 200%. It's the maximum of 200%. And I'm the chairman of the Assessors Legislative Committee, and the majority of cities and towns want the sliding scale. There's a lot of towns want to adopt this, but they want to start out at giving locally the 50% of it and then ramp up as people get used to it. So there are two bills in the legislature, and the assessors favor the broader one. Just because the cities and towns really want that.
When will they be voting on that, the Mass Assessors Bill? The legislature?
It went through the Revenue Committee, which is its first stop. It went through that a week ago. We are waiting to see the vote. They typically take about a month after the hearing to vote. If it votes favorable, it goes to second and third readings in the House and goes from there and goes over the Senate. Since our bill actually has co-sponsors in the Senate, it would probably proceed very quickly. So we're waiting to see the favorable reaction come out of the Revenue Committee. The town's own bill has not yet made it to the Revenue Committee, which would hear it. And I anticipate that sometime in February or March, it will have a hearing in the Revenue Committee, and I will be testifying in favor there as the local assessor. So there's a dual pronged approach here. By the way, this is the most sought after local exemption statewide, is having the ability to offer this on a local level. There are now 15 towns doing it. There are 12 more filed in the legislature this year, including Shutesbury. And I know about close to 30 or 40 who are preparing to file in the next legislative session. But they're waiting to see what happens to the assessor's bill, because that would make it much easier to adopt.
Kevin, are you
Yes.
finished screen sharing? I just wondered if we're
Yes, I
done.
just want to go back to the Shutesbury assessors page
Sure.
one more time, and again, just call out where that information is. Again, on the assessors page. And all of the applications are available in the assessor's office. So if you go down the section under useful information links, the last one, the second to the last one here, guide to local property tax exemptions. And I'll also point out that if you have seniors or veterans, there are veterans exemptions also available. And people are able to get more than one exemption. There's also an exemption, by the way, from the community preservation tax, also available to qualifying seniors. All of these applications are in the assessor's office. You can send an email to assessor, singular, assessor@shutesbury.org, and we will email people the forms if they have email. And Leslie Bracebridge is available on Mondays and Tuesdays, and a little bit on Wednesday morning, but primarily on Mondays and Tuesdays in the office. And I know the select board has closed town hall again. So the easiest thing to do is ask us to leave us a phone call or an email asking us to mail them to you, and we will. I'm going to be sending out a townwide alert in early March, reminding seniors to see if you apply for the circuit breaker, because that will come in handy. Those are the main exemptions. I personally have a philosophy that the seniors should get everything they're entitled to. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to make sure going into the springs or this late springs town meeting that we're going to try to boost everything to the maximum levels. My own philosophy, and just so you know, I'm a past council on aging member in the town I live in, and I was the chair for 3 years. I took care of my parents through their declining years and death. And I have a profound belief that the seniors who built the town should not be taxed out of their homes and should try to get every maximum available to them. Les, you have a question?
Oh, yes, could you, if you could turn off your screen
I'm
share,
gonna, I'm going
then
to,
I can see everybody.
I'm going to stop the share and now
Thank you.
you
Thank
can
you.
go back. But I know Mr. Luchonic had a question.
Yes, and then I want to make time for the council to ask questions as well. So Leslie, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
In my email to the council earlier today, I tried to make the point that I think it would be really helpful to the town for there to be publicity and perhaps even a public information session about the topics that Kevin is talking about. People won't necessarily go to the assessor's page. So if there's an email to all the residents who are on the town email list about a public information meeting, detailing some of this information, I think it would go a great way to helping our seniors.
Well, Mr. Luchonic, I can tell you that I just got my notice of the deadline for the Our Town newsletter. I
Yes,
see Janet gesturing, and I was wondering what the assessors were going to put in. And I think that this is an excellent thing to put in, is all the exemptions available to people. And given that the fact that the town hall has been reclosed, I have no problem scheduling a open forum on Zoom and publicizing the date and time in that article. And that then gets mailed to everybody in town.
yes, that's actually, Janice and I will both say that's the most effective way to reach people because.
I agree. In
every
fact,
household.
I will tell you, I was praising your newsletter in another town I work in just yesterday as a great way to publicize important deadlines so that people get them. Unless I think it's a fantastic idea. And because I'm at the age where I need to write everything down or I forget it, I'm writing it down right now.
So you're going to put all this in the newsletter that we've just talked about today?
I will put highlights as to what's available, but I also will do what Les suggested. I think I would schedule a forum on a certain date and time. If you can tell me when the newsletter is coming out. So
Okay.
what's the scheduled print and mailing date in the newsletter?
I've got it here if you want.
Oh, thank you, Janice.
Hold
Please
on,
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
have to stand up and look at the calendar.
Okay,
Oh, wait, actually, I have the notes even.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get it to the town hall to be proofread by February 1st. And then to the company that we are outsourcing the physical printing and mailing to, since we can't go to town hall and fold newsletters. And so it would be sometime in, because we don't know what his schedule is going to be. But
right,
presumably there's sometime the week of February 7th.
yes,
Be going
yeah,
into the
that
mail.
people will be
Okay, well,
receiving. it.
what I will do is have a meeting sometime in February that still allows people time to apply,
Okay.
and I will
wonderful.
publicize it in there.
I'm going to just interrupt, Leslie, if you have one, if you could, I'd like to go ahead and say what you want to say, then I want to give the council members a chance to, if they have any questions.
Just another quick suggestion is, in addition to the town's newsletter, to use the town's email function to all the people who have subscribed to also advertise this.
Yes, we can do that once we have the date and it gets closer, sure. We can do a town announce, no problem. It's a great idea.
Absolutely. And quite honestly, as soon as I get done, Les, with the comparison of what various things we need to accept locally, I would probably try to get that in there too. And just put up and say, I'm submitting town meeting articles to raise these up.
Thank you.
Because I really want to, I mean, especially with what COVID has done to values. And I'll just tell you, if you think you went up this year, it's still going to go up again next year. I personally want to make sure we're at the maximum offering allowed by law for all the seniors.
Does
Thank
that
you,
have to
Kevin.
be approved does that have to be approved by the town? The
By
mass
town meeting,
assessment?
yeah.
Jill, excuse me, I do want to give a chance for the council to ask any questions they may have, please. Anybody?
Hi, this
Yes.
is Joanne Bernhardt.
Yes,
So
Joanne.
Kevin, the procedure would be that people would make an appointment to meet with you or to talk
They,
on the phone or Zoom with you or?
normally to fill out an application, we'll give you the application and explain what needs to come in with it. It can be mailed or put in the town hall drop box out in front. By law, the only people who can read those are myself and Leslie Bracebridge. Not even the Board of Assessors gets to read them. They're kept under lock and key because it's people's financial info. And then we recommend, Leslie and I get together and recommend to the Board of Assessors to approve. I can tell you, we haven't rejected anyone since I've been here. And the board has not rejected anyone either. There's a commitment in the town to do this. I should point out, by the way, I'm now officially a senior by age. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm taking care of my own.
Thank you.
Maybe that's why I'm so concerned about everybody getting what they need, because I'll be there someday. As soon as I stop work, I'll probably be filing.
Joanne and Susan Mellinger and Susan Gomberg, any questions?
This is Gomberg. No questions, but I really appreciate all the information. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most important thing to do is just let folks know.
Mhm.
Call the office, email the office. We'll tell you if you qualify. We'll work with people to tell them what they qualify for and try to get them.
Great.
There's some programs that are also offered around the state that we're just too small to offer, like a work-off program. I mean, most of the town hall offices are part-time, and, we just can't bring people in. Otherwise, would probably try to offer that as well.
Mhm.
Um,
Thank you, Kevin, for bringing that up, because that was another one of our, that we had been asked to look at that. And so thanks for bringing that up.
And especially with the town hall closed to COVID, I don't see how we could implement that.
We can go for another 5 minutes if Leslie, Jill, or Amanda have any questions.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be monopolizing, but Kevin, I just wanted to clarify. The 2509 Mass Assessors Bill,
Yes,
if you get approval by the legislature, then it has to be approved at town meeting?
correct.
Uh-huh.
But
And
seeing as our exact wording was approved unanimously minus one vote at this past year's town meeting, I would expect the same. I mean, we only had one negative vote, and I call it almost unanimous. And basically would explain to people this takes the place of that one and would withdraw that one from the legislature.
mhm. And it could be, you think it could be in effect by next year?
I'm hoping.
2023? You're hoping?
I'm hoping either one of them will be in effect. I will tell you that bill, that is the Assessors Association's bill, we have 10 legislative priority bills this year. That is our number one. And just to tell you, I have met with the ranking Republican senator on the Revenue Committee. I had lunch with him during the holiday season and stressed how important that is, so that all three Republican senators in the legislature would back it, and got his commitment, and that he would also speak to the representatives. And we are trying to get another meeting with the Revenue Committee prior to them voting it out of committee.
Susan Millinger?
Kevin, I also want to thank you for all this really helpful and interesting information. Could you send us, the COA, a list of any legislators that we could very well contact ourselves to encourage to
Um,
support the bill?
We're not there yet. I think when it comes out of committee is the time. But yes,
Okay.
we could.
Good.
We've passed the comment period on our bill, so I don't want to overload them because they're doing everything by Zoom, the state legislature. And what
Right.
happens is I look on the calendar daily, they'll set a committee meeting with a list of bills they're going to do, and they give you a time to sign up and comment. So we've technically passed the time to comment, but what they do know is that the bill I mentioned is backed by the majority of the 351 cities and towns assessors.
But it doesn't hurt to have citizens contacting their legislators.
It does
Or
not hurt,
partic-
but I will give you the list. I will get you the list of legislators to contact on that committee. Actually, and the more they hear, the better. And quite honestly, Shutesbury's bill is coming up for hearing, so the more people they hear from Shutesbury, the better. So we'll get that out as well.
Thank
Good,
you.
thank
Kevin.
you.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and just so you know, what I've seen in other towns, other larger towns with more resources have actually prepared a guide for seniors as to what's available.
Mhm.
And once we get through getting everything to the level where I'd like them, I'd like to do that. It can only be like, it could be as short as a 1 or 2 page guide, but get that out so it can be readily available for the seniors.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be wonderful.
That's wonderful.
I view that as part of the goal, and I don't care what time it takes to get it out. Once we're there, I'd like to get a better document done. It's on my long range list of things to do, is a better information sheet as to what's available.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin, ever so much. You've provided us with so much clarity and information, and it dispelled some like murkiness, and it's just, we really appreciate your time.
If we had more time, I would have tried to dwell down into the applications and things. But the document I talked about preparing would be like, here's what you need to qualify, here's what you get. Now, I've seen it in other towns, and it's not that hard to duplicate. I just want to make sure, we get there.
Okay. Well,
But, I thank you all for the opportunity to talk about it. And please contact the office, either by phone or by email, and I respond every day to email.
wonderful.
Even though I'm not there every day, I respond every day to people's email, even if it's, can you wait till Saturday and I'll meet with you? And just so you guys know, I'm either, although I'm not in the office every day anymore, I am in town either all day Saturday or all day Sunday, depending on my schedule. And I have no problem meeting with people, as Les and his wife understand. I'll give you all the time you want. I'll go to your house, or I'll meet at town hall. I carry my vaccination slip with me if people are concerned. But I'm happy to meet with anybody about any exemption and explain it to them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad you'll put an article in the newsletter. Will be great.
Well, now I'm committed, so you're getting it.
Okay. Yeah. Janice, is our wonderful editor. So,
And Janice, I've given you one for every issue. So I'll start working on this tonight.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right,
And
folks, you all have a good.
thank you, Jill and Leslie, really for, encouraging us to gather this information. You really did.
And both
inspire
of them have my
conversation.
feet to the fire in a few issues that I'm following up for them. So we're all in hand in glove working on this together.
Great. Thank you.
All right,
Hey,
folks.
Hey, COA, don't you feel great for fulfilling your mission to the
Well,
elders?
Another
Thanks for
aspect
spearheading
of our
this,
mission. Yes, we've got a lot of things happening, and this was,
This-
an unexpected benefit. So thank
This
you.
is a really big one.
It is a big one.
Okay, folks. Happy New Year to everybody, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Happy New Year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye.
very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill and Leslie, for bringing this forward and for following up on it. We really appreciate it. This is something we've been thinking about for a while, but you really precipitated it.
You
So
know,
we're
you know
grateful.
how it feels to do something positive?
Mhm.
It feels so wonderful.
Yeah.
Feels so great, rather than having to challenge so much. Thank you.
So working together, it's really great. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night, y'all. Thank you.
Good night. You're welcome. You're always welcome to stay.
We're gonna do dinner now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody.
Well, that
Okay.
was a great outcome. I'm really pleased with that. And Kevin is wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm really thrilled that we're going to be getting this information out. I was talking to Linda the other day as I was reading all this stuff, and it was a clutter in my mind. And I said, I feel a spreadsheet coming on,
Yeah.
but I see Kevin is already, he's already on it,
Yes.
so that's really great. Very
Yeah.
happy about that.
I hope he puts some of that passion into his column too.
I think he will.
That was impressive.
Yes, it was. It was really.
Yeah,
good.
it's great to know he takes this so seriously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really a benefit to the town that he does.
Yeah, and that's why it was really wonderful to have him as the expert
Mhm.
for us. So,
Yeah.
okay, shall we march on?
Oof, yeah.
So we go to the minutes so that we check that off. So do we have two sets, November 10, which we carried over so that the two Susans could get the foot clinic data clear. And so do we have a motion for the 11:10 minutes?
I move that we accept the November 10 minutes as corrected. Is that right?
As presented. 'Cause-
As presented.
yeah.
Domberg, I second it.
Okay.
Okay. Bernhard, aye.
Domberg, aye.
Gray eye.
Oh,
Millinger, aye.
and Scott, aye.
Okay.
And then we have the December 1st minutes. A motion to approve?
Second.
Nope. Okay, I move to approve the
Oh.
12:1 minutes as presented.
No, I second. Bernhard seconds.
Okay,
Roll call vote.
Yep.
Bernhard, aye.
Domberg, aye.
Gray eye.
Millinger, aye.
And Scott, aye. Thank you, Susan Millinger, very much.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you to Susan Gomberg and to Janice for everything that they have put into these.
Okay, so,
Financial update.
yes, financial update. Okay. All right, so we'll start at our usual place, which is the balance at the beginning, the balance in our FY 21 grant beginning is $1,096.61. During the month of December, we expended $700 for Zumba Gold and $90 for foot care, leaving us a balance of $306.61. And that is our FY 21 grant.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last number, please?
Yes, sure. $306.61.
Thank you.
Okay. And then just for financial purposes, just as an FYI, we're using up, we're on our FY21 grant. We haven't received our FY22 grant, and we are in FY22. And just for the record, we have spent thus far this year $760 on foot care. Since July 1. So thus far in FY22, we have spent $760 on foot care, which averages $125 a month. So we have, let's see if I can find them, but no, I can't find them. Where did I put it? I'm looking for Mary Ann's, oh, I know, here they are. Sorry, talking to myself.
Can I back up just a minute
Yes,
for
please.
clarification? Because that the FY21 grant started last when?
It would have been in effect July, excuse me, can't talk. July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. But we're still using the balance of that. And now we're at the bottom.
So the next grant that comes in, which is for fiscal 21, 22, should cover the calendar space from July 21 to June 22.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But we haven't received this grant yet. Okay.
Right.
So when it comes through, which should be sometime in January, it usually comes through sometime in January, the scope of the grant should have been from last July to next June.
Mhm.
But we're not going to get it until hopefully sometime in January. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
So the amount that we get, which will be should be $6,000, will be ours to spend until theoretically the end of June.
Mhm.
Although in years previous, we've always carried over amounts and have used those to fund other things. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
And
you, Linda, for explaining this to me on another occasion.
yes, no, it's helpful because it's it's an awkward way to think about things.
Mhm.
That we're in the fiscal year and we don't have money, but we can spend it. So on that note, Joanne, do you think it seems like we should take up the library requests now?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do
Do
you have them printed? I'm sorry, I
I
don't.
don't have them printed, but I have them up.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got, I say that confidently, but now, hang on for a second. I'm so sorry.
Notes, I jotted down on the agenda what the requests were. So if at any point you want me to read them.
Oh,
I'd be
if
happy to
you
do
have
that.
them handy, that would be fabulous.
Yep. Okay, from January to the end of June for Wednesday yoga, 1,040 is the request.
Yep.
And I didn't count the number of weeks involved. From
Okay.
January,
26, I've got now 26 classes.
okay. From January through March for Zumba Gold, 1,250 is the request.
Okay, and that is for 25 classes.
Okay. And from February 10th to the end of June, Kathy's Yoga, the request is 1,365.
Okay, so that's 21 classes. Okay. All right. Um,
Oh,
So I don't know. What do you think?
So that's a total, if my math is correct, of $3,665 for the classes of this winter to June, right? The three classes that they're asking for funding for from now until the end of the fiscal year.
Yes, that's correct. 3,655. Yep.
Okay,
So there would be other classes that Mary Ann is not asking us to fund.
not yet.
she
What
will
do you
in the
mean?
fall.
What do you mean, Susan Millinger?
Well, the strength classes, she's not asking us to fund the strength
Oh,
classes.
right, that are starting with J.
Yes.
Yes, she must have other funding for that one.
Well, in the past, she's often asked us for part of the money. So I'm assuming that she's not gonna, if this is, she's asking us for all of the money for these, she's not gonna ask for other programming for these, other classes.
She hasn't, so we're going to operate on what she's asking for us.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
I-
But sometimes in fall, she's asked for funding for fall classes after these are done,
right, because these are through the end of the fiscal year, right?
right?
Right. And so
Hmm.
so that's $3,655. We've got 6 months left in the fiscal year for foot clinic. And if that averages $125 a month, that is $750, roughly.
Does it average 125 a month?
Yes,
That's
yes,
what she
it does.
said.
Yeah, yep.
Gray here, you're echoing my thoughts, Linda.
Um,
I wrote down, and a foot clinic is this. I'm a little nervous about this, that
Mm.
half our year's money
Yeah,
disappeared.
More than half, yeah, more than half.
Before we're even at the beginning of, and then, then we've got the fall coming. So I'm concerned.
Okay,
The fall is
so
in the next fiscal year.
fall will be the next fiscal year.
Okay, but so but still we'd be carrying over, presumably we'd be allowed to carry over the 600 for FY '22 into, just like we're doing now.
Right, right. And we can go in the hole. We can go negative because we know the
Okay.
money will come.
Mhm.
Just know that's happened in the past. We, we haven't this year because, we haven't had the Gazette, for example.
Right.
But I do want to say that if we add the 750 average for foot clinic, that comes up to $4,405. And I'm anticipating that we're going to have some survey expenses. I don't know, but there is that.
Mhm.
So what about Village Neighbors? Are they going to be asking us for a
Oh, right.
grant for the
Yeah,
fiscal year?
we already voted to give, we did make a vote to give, can't talk, Village Neighbors $500 annually. So that,
Okay.
we add that in.
So that's 4905.
Yeah, 4905. Yep.
Does Mary Ann have any other source for these courses?
She didn't indicate anything, and she just asked us if we'd like to sponsor.
It
We
does
can
have
come back.
some grant sources for the classes overall. I'm not sure if it's specific to each class, but there is grant money for some of them. I imagine she's asked this in a way that would leave her some leeway to ask or to use the grant money for other things such as the strength training. And I know at one point people were being charged for some of these things, but
No,
that was way in the past, right?
no,
No?
they've all been no charge. Mary Ann doesn't like want to deal with charging people.
That must have been the recreation
Yes,
committee.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Well, so I wonder if she's asking the recreation committee for any money.
Oh, what do they have?
Well, they must have a budget, a town budget, yes?
Yes, but they charge for classes.
Well,
Hang on, I can find it. I can answer that question. If you just give me a couple of minutes, I can look up and see what they have in there.
I mean, the COA gets $200 from the town.
Yep. Yeah, we do have that. We do have $200.
but the town knows we have a big grant from the state.
That's right. But that's, that was to be able to do miscellaneous things that we couldn't really do by, for our grant.
Yeah.
Creation.
I think what Janice here, I think what Susan M is remembering and getting at is that I think a year ago or so, maybe two, I've lost track. We and the Recreation Committee worked together to fund some program. I think Mary Ann asked each of us to kick in some, and then I can't remember.
Right. The Recreation Committee has a $1,000 budget line, expense line from the town, and they still have $725 in their revolving fund, and that's money that came from classes.
Ah,
So, but that's, that's neither here nor there, really. We're being asked by Mary Ann, and we need to think about what works for us.
it's just it's a big request. I
It
think
is.
we're all thinking that. But these are valuable classes.
We could ask Mary Ann to come and talk to us.
Do we have to, this is Gomberg, do we have to agree to fund the whole thing?
No,
We do have?
no, we don't.
Or is it just all or none?
No, we can make a counter offer, so to speak. Yeah. Well, we don't know. Mary Ann's not here to explain or answer our questions. I did tell her that we would take it up tonight,
I have from the annual report that I just sent in, the numbers of people who participated in these classes. Unfortunately, not all the classes are listed here. The strength training with Jay, there were 25 people. The gentle yoga, 7. The Qigong, 8. And the Zumba Gold, 8. And so we don't have a number for Kathy Sward's yoga class, so because we didn't fund that last year. So the Zumba Gold and the Qigong have 8 participants each. I don't know if that's going to continue at that level. I mean,
yeah, it
possibly.
doesn't,
But
yeah.
those are the figures so far. And I'm going to imagine that Kathy Swartz yoga class is going to have more people than this one, which was just the gentle yoga, this with 7 participants.
Janice, did you have something?
I know, it's just funny because as you were speaking, I got a notification that Mary Ann just sent out the notice about Kathy Sward's class tomorrow, and there are 3 more of them through the 20th.
Mhm.
So, but it was, the timing was interesting. So she's sending out the notice about it now with the Zoom link.
Well, okay, this is Millinger. She always sends it out the night before we have it, Janice.
I know,
So
but
it's just-
I wasn't sure how long it lasted, and it lasts until the 20th. I wasn't clear on that myself. And
No,
it
I
just-
wasn't either.
And
Yeah.
it was just maybe kind of, the timing was funny to me, that's all.
I think it's just ongoing. Those classes are ongoing. And
Well, no,
Yeah.
sorry. This is
That's
Susan
right.
again. Millinger, Mary Ann, when I asked Mary Ann why she didn't put Kathy's class in the mailing that she sent out for activities, She said that Kathy was taking a break for a couple of weeks and she wasn't yet sure when Kathy was starting up.
Okay.
So this is Millinger still. Not too long ago, we were worried about money, and so we offered Marianne a certain amount for a certain length of time and said we would revisit it at the end of that time. But I don't know if that's something that we would consider tonight or not.
How I'm feeling right now is that it's not helpful to not have Marianne here.
Yes.
Because
Agreed.
it feels like we're going around, we don't have enough information to know how, if there are other resources, other sources of funding that Marianne could use. This is a big ask,
Mhm.
So are you thinking about asking her to next month's meeting?
Well, it's not, it's just a suggestion.
Seems like a good idea.
I think so, yeah. It is a big ask. I think we're all hesitant to commit to that amount.
Yeah, because in the past she's come and explained things to us, made a proposal and answered our questions. So what do you
Ms.
think?
Gomberg, I think it would be a good idea to have her come to a meeting and then we can proceed. Because it is a lot of money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And with numbers of participants in the past for these classes, because we didn't sponsor these last year, so.
Well, we did sponsor Zumba Gold and we did pay for Jeanette.
We
for
did,
Wednesday.
but I mean, we didn't, the Kathy Sword class, I think has maybe more participants in it.
I see what you mean. Yep. Susan,
Kathy gave, she donated her time for most of last year, which is
That's
why we
right.
were asked to contribute.
right.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so if Janice?
Well, I'm putting myself in Marianne's shoes at the moment, which is that she is, the current sessions with Kathy end on the 20th of January. And then she is hoping that they will start up again with money from us on February 10th. And our next meeting, if we meet at the usual time, would be February 9th.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an uncomfortable squish.
But yes, and let's also though point out that Kathy, that Marianne asked for funding for Wednesday yoga and Zumba, which are going to run. They're already starting. So Marianne is acting as if, so she's not waiting for us to say we're going to fund these. She's already operating, and she's already scheduling those classes. So,
I guess the reason also I reacted when I saw that email notification meant that she maybe is at the library right now. If we wanted to try to reach her, or maybe we don't, but.
Well, I want to just,
I know we have very little time left.
Yeah, we have less than 20 minutes left. It seems like we don't have enough information, and we'll ask Marianne to come to our next meeting. Okay, is that?
Yes.
Gomberg, I think
We're
it's
just going
great.
around in a circle.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, let's do that.
okay, all right. All right. All right, so we have a lot more to do.
Sorry.
So Joanne, you want to give a quick?
Yes, the annual report to the EOEA has been submitted. Yay!
Wow.
Thanks to Janice for sending me the PDF of the town report that she made, which I could attach, and thereby saving me the problem of trying to say what we have and haven't been doing. And I sent it off on Sunday, so it's in the mail, as they say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a huge.
And the new
job.
format, it's an online format, which makes it very easy. And they have changed some of the questions that they ask, which also makes it easier. So for instance, before they assumed that we were collecting demographic information on age and gender and whatever. And now they ask, have you been collecting it? So if we just say no, then we don't have to deal with all that. So they made some good changes, and for our small number of statistics, it's off. So
Great.
done for the year.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next item we have is legislative update, though if it's okay with you, Susan, I'd like to hold that for a moment.
Absolutely fine to put it off to another meeting.
Okay, because as you all know, we have, we're now officially a part of the AARP Age Friendly Communities Network. And NOR has asked to meet with us, or someone of us, I guess. I don't think it has to be everyone, to talk about the survey. And so I asked him for some perspective, dates that would work for him. So we need to talk about how we want to approach this, and who would like to go. I think it's about, my sense is it's about logistics, and how many by email, how many by mail, etc. So there's that piece, and then there's the fact that now through our COA, we can log in and set ourselves up to be receiving emails as part of the network. So there's two things, but first of all, the survey and how we'd like to approach that.
Has the survey been, this is Joanne, has the survey been updated since the first round? Janice, do you know that?
Last time I looked, this is Janice, it had not. I did notice that just the other day, Village Neighbors sent out its newsletter and said it was, it was going to come at some point, but it sounded like they didn't have a particular date. I went to the LifePath website because I wanted to try to update our webpage saying we're now in the network. And they do not have any information on the age-friendly communities thing, except that it's in the works and to write to NOR. So they don't have a link either.
Okay. Okay. So what in NOR's email, he says, as we have been discussing recently, the project has transitioned into the needs assessment phase, which we know, in order to create a baseline for the region's age friendliness. We will be launching our assessment survey this month, and it will be available both online and in print. And he's hoping to connect with all participating towns about survey outreach, especially for elders who do not have internet access, and the way LifePath can support that. And he'd like to meet probably just 20 minutes. My thinking is that, a couple of us could do that.
Well, I'm willing to do that, but I would like to ask either Janice or Susan Millinger to do that too, because you guys, I think, have been more in touch with Noor.
Well-
Janice, I know you worked on, you went over the survey with a fine tooth comb. I know you did that. And Susan was the person who has been most in contact with Noor. Am I mistaken, or?
No, I mean, I'm happy to go, or I'm happy not to go.
Okay.
The focus is on logistics, truly.
Yeah.
So
That to me sounds like you, Linda.
I think that I would, I think it would make sense for me to be one of the people, only because I, just know a little bit more about what, mailing, and I did I just waded into our mailing list a little bit. And we have about 775 individuals 55 and older from last year's list. I don't have this year's list yet from Grace. But anyway, we have plenty to work with, and that's individuals. There's certainly,
Households.
Yeah, so that reduces the number of actual mailings down quite a bit to around 500 probably. But anyway,
My concern, this is Janice. I'm sorry, Susan.
Yeah, I don't feel a need to go, but I do want to put in my 2 cents about communication, and perhaps you all have already thought this, but I think we definitely need to do a mailing to everybody in our list, or to the households, because that way we're talking about reaching everybody.
Yep, but you know what? We're going to have to see how fat this survey is.
Yes, but we can
16
also
weeks.
ask them for help. Yes, aren't they
He
offering
said it-
possibly some monetary help?
He says that twice in my
Yeah.
presence, my
Yeah.
virtual presence.
Yeah.
But the other thing is we would have to, if you are to be apples and apples with all the other towns in the network, it needs to go to people who are 50 and up. And our current list is 55, and you said that wouldn't be that hard to get those numbers. I just want to say very quickly, I have his original email to you about this. Then there was a follow-up with some dates. The first date he suggested was this Friday morning.
Mhm.
And I don't think we could, and if there's more than one of us going, I don't know if we can post that in time.
We don't have to post. If it's
Okay,
just
okay,
two
good.
people, and it's just, empowered by the group. We're not a working group. We're just going to one meeting to gather information.
Okay, I was
not-
concerned about that.
We're not going to make any decisions. We're just going to talk with him and, see what's possible. And I mean, we know we're going to do what we can for the survey, and
Hmm.
Well, the
Yeah.
survey, when I printed out, this is Joanne, when I printed out the survey, it was 16 pages. That was from the email format. I'm sure that they can get, a mailing format that's not going to be that long.
That was his plan at that meeting that I attended in your stead. I just want to throw something out since we have 8 minutes. Between this and Noor's timetable of, he wants to survey out this month, and the whole mess with the library, I'm wondering if we, forgive me, should call a second meeting in January at some point. Because if we're going to come back from whoever goes to meet with Noor,
yeah.
comes back and we have to make decisions, we're in a real time crunch on both of those areas, even though the library one is not our problem.
But okay, so that, I appreciate your suggestion. So let's, Janice, what do you, how do we want to do this with Noor?
Is he meeting individually with each town, or is this a time when he's Zooming with a number of towns, or what's going on? What's happening?
I sense this is the individual.
It
Yeah,
sounds
just us.
individual, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so can have an individual meeting with him where we go over the logistics of getting the survey out
Sounds like it.
per town, right?
He said, would you be able to meet virtually in the next couple of weeks to discuss this?
Okay.
So for 20 minutes or so.
Mhm.
Um,
So what we have to tell him is how many people 50 and up are in the town.
I don't think we need those numbers yet.
No, it's just,
No? Okay,
no, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm feeling the time pressure. And
Linda, do you want to do this? I'll do it with you. You're the person who's working at this
Yep.
point in the, for the town, so
Yeah.
it's your time.
and there's just a lot going on right now. So
Janice, do you think you and I can do it? Because you know about the mailing stuff.
Well, I don't know about the mailing stuff. But I could be part of it, yes. But I don't remember what the other dates were that he was suggesting.
okay, right. So I mean, I'm happy to do it with someone else. I feel like that makes sense. So it's Friday, the 7th in the morning or afternoon, Tuesday morning out. I cannot do
I
that.
can't either. Okay, that I knew there was something. Yeah.
Thursday morning, well, we have Kathy.
We could skip. Okay.
So that's, we could do it, after that. And then Friday, the 14th in the afternoon. So,
I could do, I cannot do that Tuesday morning, but
Okay.
the others are okay.
okay, all right.
Well,
So,
actually, Wednesday's not one of them, right?
no, not Wednesday. So
Okay.
this Friday morning or afternoon,
Yep.
Thursday, the 13th in the morning. So if we said 10:30.
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, and the 14th is okay for me as well. Sorry to.
Okay, all right. So how about if I reach out to Noor and we suggest Thursday, the 13th at 10:30?
Okay. Assuming that anyone else?
I think 2 of us is good if everybody else is okay with that.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay, now Janice suggested that we possibly consider a second meeting later in the month. So our regular February meeting is on the 9th.
You may not want to meet a second time. I just thought I'd put it out there.
Well, I don't think realistically that Nor makes very rapid progress on things
Okay.
from all the evidence we've seen.
Okay, and we'll, and Marianne is proceeding anyway, with with or without our money, so let's plan on the 9th. And so the only other quick thing is that, well, I don't know whether it's quick or not, but we'll carry over the legislative update. Is that okay, Susan?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and trainings, we'll carry that over. And okay, the newsletter article. There are a number of things. I want to say that LifePath and Community Action have they've come together to create. They've received a $1 million grant, which you may have seen in the LifePath newsletter, for older adults to help. It's a modification program for income eligible homeowners 62 and older, and it improves general home safety through no-cost modifications to reduce risk of falling, increase accessibility, and improve homes' functional abilities. And so then it goes on to talk about eligibility guidelines and such. But I received in addition to what was in LifePath, we received at the council an email from Community Action about the program. And I thought a summary of that would be great to put in the newsletter. And, saying that we'll have, we still can accept new foot clinic people.
Do we want to give a heads up about the survey coming?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yes, survey coming. And so if folks are, if no one's hot on this, I'll be happy to write it unless someone else would really like to do it. I turn it over. I just thought.
I think if you have all the information there, it would
I
be
do.
great if you could do it. Yeah.
I do. And I know the editor. So she'll keep me on my toes if I haven't included everything
Right.
that needs to be included. Well,
Okay, I think we need to close.
we do. Is everybody good?
Mhm.
Grace,
Gomberg,
good.
good, yep, yep.
Very happy about Kevin's joining us and his clarifications. So,
Yeah, that was really-
Events he's gonna hold, the event he's gonna hold.
yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it was
Really
really
good.
huge. And I really also appreciated that he talked about very briefly, one sentence about senior
Work
work-off program.
Yeah.
And
That was helpful.
it was helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Because I felt that was a hard one for us to consider. So, okay, do we have a motion? Thank you, everybody, truly. So good to be with you.
Gray moves that we adjourn.
Gomberg
Second.
seconds the motion.
Bernhard, aye.
Gomberg, aye.
Gray, aye.
Millinger, aye.
And Scott, I.
With 1 minute to
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
New Year.
Thank you very much,
Happy New
Linda and
Year.
Joanne.
Yes.
Oh,
New Year, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.